Hi, welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Erin, the Executive Director of Common Sense Adoption and Foster Care Services, and this is Lori Teeter, who's our Program Supervisor. And in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the costs associated with foster care and adoption. So one of the calls that we get a lot are families, starting this out, and one of the first things they'll say, how much does it cost? And that's a tough question to answer because it depends on so many different factors. So oftentimes what we'll do is say, it depends a lot on what kind of program you're looking at. So I'm going to start out with what are some of the costs associated with fostering. And then we'll talk about adoption because we specialize in foster to adopt. So a lot of the families who come to us, they're going to foster first and then adopt, but we also do provide other types of adoption services. So for families looking to foster, typically your costs are going to be very, very minimal. You may have to pay for clearances for yourself and any household members over the age of 18. And the total cost for that is about $100 a person for, again, anybody in your household over the age of 18. You'll need some things like medical references. You'll need to get some training. So if you need to, pay to see the doctor to get a medical reference, you might have some out of pocket with that. Training, depending on, we offer a lot of free training, so you probably won't have a lot of costs there. But some families like to go out and buy some books, maybe, participate in some other training that's offered. But really for a foster family, most of your costs associated with becoming an approved resource are going to be covered by the agency that you're working with. There are funding streams that we rely on as a provider to offset the costs associated with our work. After that, maybe, every couple of years you've got some costs to keep your foster care license current. But again, those costs are very, very minimal. For adoptive families, you might see bigger costs associated with pursuing an adoption. And again, it's very, very program specific. So for families who are looking to adopt children from the foster care system, there are programs out there like the statewide adoption network here in Pennsylvania that will cover the cost of your home study if you qualify for that program. If you don't qualify, say you want children a little younger or healthier than the children we typically see in foster care, you may have costs associated with the completion of your home study or family profile. And those costs, again, are going to vary depending on the specific program that you do, but usually those costs are under $5,000, again, if that applies to you. And part of that would be clearances, medicals, a lot of the fees foster families see, but then the additional cost of having to have a professional agency do your family profile or home study. After that, families who are looking to adopt from the public child welfare system typically don't have additional fees. Maybe some legal fees, but probably not. Where you see the biggest fees are really families pursuing what we call private adoptions. So this would be adopting an infant through an attorney or a private placing agency, going overseas to adopt. So if you're looking at, adopting a child from another country, you're going to incur a lot of costs associated with those specific types of adoptions. And those fees, as we know, can range from anywhere from maybe $10,000 to $20,000 upwards of, I've heard people paying $75,000 or more to adopt a child. Depends on a lot of factors. Some people are actively advertising that they're looking to adopt an infant, and they're paying money to service providers who are promoting you as a resource. So the fees, vary. So it's a tough question. I mean, when we get those calls and people want to know cost, It is so dependent upon the program that you're looking at. So anywhere from, a couple $100 to maybe tens of thousands. So, I think the key to answering that question the best for families who call us is getting to know you, getting to understand your goals, looking at the types of programs that are going to be a good fit for you, and then we can start getting into more specifics around what costs, if any, are likely to affect you and your family, because it's a big consideration.
Another question that I often hear from many families interested is, can I afford to be approved as a resource family, whether it's foster and or adoption? And my answer is, most likely we are really trying to reduce all barriers for families who are available to step up and help children heal, especially. So that's the questions to ask. Ask those questions. Can I afford this? What are some of the bars of income? Typically, my answer initially is that you're stable, that you're financially stable, that you have the means to take care of your own family and to bring in another child, which there is funding for help for families to do that. So ask the questions.
Yeah. And I think one of those touchy subjects when people are looking to adopt or foster is, they're so afraid they're buying a baby or buying a child. And I think it's important to understand that the fees and costs associated with this process, if there are any for you, have to do with all of the service providers that are working to help place a child in your home. There's legal services, there's professional services. So a licensed agency usually needs to assist you, and we have costs associated with providing the service. You're not buying a child, you're paying for professional services, much like you would pay for hospital and doctor visits if you didn't have insurance to have a baby born to you. It's just that we don't have insurance for this, so you're paying for those services to be provided. But in the case of children coming out of foster care, there's a lot of public money, tax dollars, going into supporting programs so that fees and costs don't become a barrier to families being able to help children in care. So we're making up those costs through those public programs that are paying for our services. So it's not coming out of necessarily your pocket, but somebody's paying us to provide that service. So you're not buying a child, you're paying for services. But we're here to help you find programs that, again, best fit your needs as a family, including what is, attainable for you if cost is an issue, and factoring that in. So again, if you have questions about costs or anything about foster care and adoption, give us a call. We're here to help you. And if you want more information, check out our website, check us out on social media. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. So
and we answer the phone. Reach
out
to us. Our number is 717-412-0772.
Thanks.